And now for New Jersey. Nets will go with Martin, Collins, Jefferson, Kerry, Kittles, and Jason Kidd is in the starting lineup tonight. The Nets 29-16 with this starting five this season. Well, what does Kidd's return mean to the Nets? If you take a look at the plus-minus stat, wrapping it up. You know, what does Lawrence Frank actually think of that number? It's not exactly an accepted stat by NBA followers, but it's more of a hockey stat. The head coach's response, I think it's very skewed, because if I played with Jason Kidd, I have a chance to be a plus. I'm more interested in the actual play. Home for 4 of their next 5. This is the final 20 games at the Pepsi Center. 8 days ago, 95-91, Kerry, Kittles lit up the Nuggets.
I'm anxious to see these two teams because they're built very similar, as we talked about in the open. A lot of athletes.
17-65 a year ago. They're 34-31 entering action tonight. Nets in the half court with Martin. Martin against Nene. Martin turns and connects.
Quickness factor there, Kenyon Martin. Nice move. Let some people pass him by. Was very methodical in his ways there, and then the quick first step, he gets right to the hole against Nene. Well-rounded point guard, does a little bit of everything, and saw him his post-up ability there and fight for the offensive board and putback.
Averaging 15 points per game, his first bucket. Kidd fires and hits a 3.
Now there's good news. Not showing much rust on that jump shot as Jason Kidd gets in the scoring column quickly with the long 3.
Here's Nene, baseline jumper, way off. And Martin with a rebound.
That ball movement, that's going to be key for them. We know that they can run up and down the floor, but where they struggle is in the half court, and that's when they've got to get some ball movement and some player movement.
4 of the Nets' 5 starters have scored. Martin, oh, that is nifty. Across the lane as he scooped the ball for the hook.
Yeah, he just cradled that basketball and rose above the entire defense there. A nice shot for Kenyon Martin in the lane.
Nets leading scorer, Martin with 4.
Some help there as Carmelo Anthony overplaying Jefferson.
Williams, soft touch, off the rim, and Camby unable to grab it. Out of bounds, the Nets will retain it.
And Martin competing for that board inside. I think distracted Camby as he couldn't gather. The Nets will get another turn at it.
Jason Kidd's injury has been the focus. Kenyon Martin playing with tendonitis in his left knee. Kidd to Martin. Williams fouled from behind. Marcus Camby got a piece. And it will be Camby. Figure about 8 attempts per game, the round number. What would be considered for a big-time scorer? What's the number you need to hit? Attempts at the free throw line per game.
I think about 8. You know, in that 7 to 8 areas. The look inside for Martin with the finish off the Kidd feed. There's no question when you think as a scorer, if I can get to the line 8 times. Very aggressive to start this ball game on the offensive end for Miller.
Miller against Kittles. He has scored 6 straight for Denver. Miller stumbles, almost goes down with a circus attempt.
That would have been something.
And here's Anthony for the Nuggets.
Fortunately, Martin was back with Miller, who never left after he fell down. A good decision from Kenyon Martin defensively.
Trail Denver in the return. Denver's taken a 4-point lead.
I was going to say perhaps we get a look at the Nets. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Harris, Armstrong, Scalabrine, Martin, and Williams. Martin a kick out. Harris inside the arc. Book it.
A good job there, spotting up by Lucious Harris. As the defense was drawn inside to Kenyon Martin and Lucious got into a comfortable zone. The fact that Andre Miller's so aggressive, maybe the theory there being if he takes a lot of pressure off of Anthony later on, it may open things up for him if they concentrate too much on Andre Miller.
Just over a minute elapsed in this second quarter. Armstrong draws that tough assignment, having to run around the floor.
He is going to run
Boykins.
a lot, no question about it.
Rodney White off the mark. Martin, lead feed for outside. Camby, shot clock at 8. Now it's Boykins. Swings it. Camby has the open look. High arcing delivery, and Martin up very high for the loose ball.
Well, not his forte, Marcus Camby.
39-35. Anthony forcing his way in, trying to follow up the shot. Missed it. Anthony, ball fake. Underneath, Martin got a piece. And doesn't get the roll on the first.
You remember before, Carmelo Anthony gets a couple of looks at it, but now his play goes down and not sprinting. It's like, you know, taking your time getting back.
Anthony, the 19-year-old from Towson, Maryland. Net 6 of 10 from the field in the quarter. Double clutch Anthony. Camby came flying in. 40-36 Nets. Jefferson picked up his 3rd foul. Scalabrine is in. Martin camps out and puts it in on a hook.
Yeah, real nice duck in that time by Kenyon Martin as he gets in front of the defender, and you can count 2 when he gets that deep.
And a good job on the baseline and the sideline. Scalabrine and Kittles. Up top, knocked out of bounds. Denver will take over.
And fortunate, too, because Kittles made that effort and saved the ball underneath Denver's baskets, which they tell you not to do. It just so happens that Jason Collins was standing right there to help him out.
And a technical has been called on Martin.
And Kenyon says, I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to the kid.
And Oleksiak is shaking his head. Martin wants an explanation. And Kidd is playing the role of lawyer.
Well, he's the captain, too, and that's the only guy that the referee will talk to. In these situations, he wants to talk to the captain. He has every right to go out there and defend his teammate. And Ron Oleksiak listens, but nothing you're going to do to change it.
3:04 to play, first half. And Martin still steamed after the technical was called on him for the chatter. Here's Anthony against Martin. And Scalabrine knocked it away. Kidd feeds. Scalabrine behind the back. Oh, that's special. Kenyon Martin on the dunk.
And that's the way you get him back, too. Tear the rim down. And Martin nearly did.
44-37. Jason Kidd back in the lineup, and that shows you where he's at. Nene, a spin and an offensive foul.
The last play, the Nets with the steal off and running. And this will get everybody off their feet. Martin throws it through. A different look, a different angle. The same result. Kidd to Martin. It's special.
44-37, Nets leading it. Kenyon Martin with 10 points, 6 rebounds. We talk about Jason Kidd having eyes in the back of his head. Here's an example.
Just a tremendous play when you look at a 2-on-1 situation where Kidd could have just as easily gotten a layup. He just felt his teammate Martin behind him, and once you know it, Martin is just coming off a technical. That's one way to get his mind off of that and into the game.
Kidd missed the layup on the back cut. Martin the bounce pass.
Look, he may have lost it on the way up because that's usually 2 for Jason Kidd. Straight through, nothing but net.
8 points for Carmelo on 3 of 9 shooting. The A-trim getting ready to check in. Scalabrine finds Martin with a bounce pass, and Martin fouled from behind by Nene.
Scalabrine has given a lot of positives in his minutes on the floor. Nice job off the dribble on a nice bounce pass. Let's get a look with the left hand. Leaves Martin beautifully, and Nene, some more of those fouls we talked about, silly fouls. He's in foul trouble again.
And KT, look at the rotation right now. Rodney Rogers has not seen the floor. Martin good on the first attempt, his first of the night. Collins sits, Williams in for him. 10 points, 3 rebounds for the A-train. Collins exits with just 8 minutes of first half action.
And when you look at the type of team that they're playing this type of game, maybe it's better suited for a Brian Scalabrine because of the quickness factor, up and down, a lot of energy, and he's definitely that type of guy as well.
7th assist for Kidd in the first half, 12 points for Williams. Martin locked up Anthony in the 4th quarter the first time these two teams met.
A little different look for Carmelo Anthony being guarded by Martin. He's stronger.
Anderson thought Anthony was cutting along the baseline and just tossed it out of bounds.
Trying to get rid of Martin. Thinking backdoor, he came out, ball went out of bounds.
34-22 in favor of New Jersey in the paint. Andre Miller had 14 points in the first quarter, just 4 here in the second quarter. High screen, Camby, stolen away. Here's Martin. Like a runaway train, he could not be stopped.
Can you say lockdown? Because that's what he's doing to Carmelo Anthony right now, asserting himself at the defensive end. Great job by K-Mart.
And Camby off the mark at the buzzer. Martin, 6 points after the technical foul was called. The emotion emotion and the edge that he brings to this team. Up the A train. And Kenyon Martin going strong. 1 over Denver. Heineken at the half is coming up with Fred Hickman after these words. Kidd on the perimeter. Shot clock at 9. Martin against Nene.
Tough task with Nene having those 3 personals.
And Martin.
Maybe 4.
Foul. Nene raises his arm.
Nene was trying to emphasize the point that I played him straight up defensively as Nene see the elbow against his back. And
oh, that's just not realistic. Kenyon Martin to the free throw line, and how does that change the game? Well, Nene stays on the floor.
I was going to say Richard Jefferson the only net with 3 personal fouls, and Nene just mentioned wants to stay on the floor. And that has to be the call there. The swipe by Andre Miller. Didn't see much contact. In fact, didn't see any. Nene on the way up. Tried to have a hand straight up in the air, but there was definitely contact from him.
Martin hits on a pair of free throws. Nets again lead by 7. Into the half court. Feeding the post. Nene. 12 to shoot. Back in. Oh, Martin! Second defender. And swats it away.
Help defense. It's been there all season long by Kenyon Martin. He anticipates the Nuggets cry for goaltending. They won't get it as Martin sends that one into the second row.
Back to live action. 4 to shoot. Anthony unable to create. He gives it up.
He takes the foul, and that was his intention here as Kenyon Martin locking down once again on Carmelo Anthony. Once they left him isolated, decided for the jump shot, and he connects.
14 overall for Carmelo Anthony. Jefferson gets the step and drives in for the uncontested slammer.
Another easy one. There's porous defense on the backside. There's no way you can allow a player to get from the top of the key all the way to the rim untouched. Just going to look at this last play. Carmelo Anthony gets caught going underneath, but where's the help, Denver? Your teammate gets beat, and they're all, you know, hoping, wishing, thinking about getting over there, but they can't as RJ gets all the way to the flush.
Collins called on his 3rd foul. 10 to shoot. Anthony unable to return the favor. Leak out.
Important play there by Martin last time down defensively, though, really challenging Carmelo Anthony, making that difficult. Big reason why that one didn't go down for him. Stumbles a little bit, and Anthony picks up a cheap one.
And the 3rd team foul against Denver. Here's Martin, high post. Turns on Nene. Kittles curls towards the ball and gives it back. Martin inside the arc. Hits the jumper.
When that goes, it makes it very difficult to defend him. We know how well he gets to the basket, how well he posts up to get that a right-handed jump hook. And he was just outstanding in the first quarter. Slowed down, trying to get other people involved.
20 points for Andre Miller. He's the high scorer in the game. Martin breaks free for the 2-handed stuff. Nene did not have a chance fronting the post.
They should front, because when you front, that means you're looking for help, and we haven't seen much help from these Denver Nuggets.
Nets get it back. 4:45 to go in the 3rd.
Fronting the post? Now that means you've got help backside. There is no help. Kenyon Martin with the 2-handed flush. And Denver, once again, not equipped to rotate.
Rebounding totals all tied up at 19. Lob, catch and slam. The chemistry is there. Kidd to Martin.
Can you say high percentage shot?
(66-58). Martin with 22.
They decide not to go down and post him and let Anthony work against Jefferson. Tough shot.
And the lead is down to 4. Harris getting ready to check in. Kidd gives up his dribble. Martin, they'll give him the jumper. And he hits.
Yeah, you got to live with that. Good job by Kenyon Martin to be able to knock that down from 15, 18 feet.
Nets lead at 72-66. The first time these two teams met, Kenyon Martin did a tremendous job defensively against Carmelo Anthony. And it has spilled over into this matchup.
There's no question, Ian. He has gotten down and dirty defensively. Little offense added in, but quicker, bigger, stronger. has given Carmelo Anthony a little bit of fits here, as he's been able to stay in front of him, take away some lanes, be a little more physical with him. That's not to say Richard Jefferson can't, because he certainly can, but Kenyon Martin, a bigger body, still has the quickness, to contain or stay in front of a Carmelo Anthony. Nice job by Martin.
Now we'll see if Lawrence Frank goes with that matchup in the fourth quarter, as Leonard cannot hit the fadeaway. Doliak tries to pop it up in the air, and the Nets control it. Williams had the big first half, now gets a touch. With just over a minute to go in the third. Martin's been hitting the jump shot.
No hesitation. That's the big thing. When you don't think about it, sometimes you make it look easy, and Doliak backed off, and Martin responded from 17.
26 points, 8 rebounds for Kenyon Martin. 55.1 on the clock.
You see Doliak drop off to the middle of the paint area trying to look for some help, and an awful lot of room, but Kenyon Martin responds quickly, and again, shooting that jump shot with a lot of confidence, at least tonight.
They put 3 more seconds on the clock. And New Jersey up by 8. Here's Anthony, defended by Martin. Leonard inside the arc, no good. And rebounded by Martin, his 9th. And that'll do it for the third quarter of play. We head to the fourth. Kenyon Martin, 26 points, 9 rebounds through 3 quarters. Nets 77, Nuggets 68. The fourth quarter is next on Yes. Nets and Nuggets tonight at Continental Airlines Arena. Kenyon Martin got a technical foul in the second quarter, and since then has been unstoppable on the offensive end. Defensively, he hasn't been too shabby either. Nets lead at 77-68 as we welcome you back to the Meadowlands. Nets open up with the ball here in the fourth. Martin, double team comes. On the floor for the Nets, Harris, Kittles, Williams, Martin, and Scalabrine. Denver.
Very true. The fact that the Nuggets played last night, a little surprising they didn't use that bench a little bit more, but he's going to go all out with his big guns. But you wonder whether he's going to have to turn to them in the fourth quarter here.
Jefferson in for Martin, who sits with 26 points and 9 rebounds. So Carmelo Anthony recognizing that a change had been made in the lineup. The second that Jefferson D'd up,
goes down low.
Down low.
Yeah, against Martin, he's trying to take him outside off the dribble, which he hasn't had much success, but he really likes the matchup down low for Carmelo.
Take a look at how this one has developed. Front court scoring. Nets 72-40. Dunks. Kenyon with 4. Denver leads the league in that category, but they've been held to just 2.
Well, all 3 really go in the line. When you look at how they've dominated the front court scoring.
The fire of Kenyon Martin, 26 points, 9 rebounds, a couple of blocks. Did receive a technical. Ron Elysiak thought he was mouthing off. Martin claimed he was talking to his teammate, Jason Kidd. But since that tee in the second quarter, Martin has put up 18 points.
Well, he certainly channeled his energy in a positive manner. That's the way to do it. Take it out on the opposition. Better heads prevail. 2 guys just working hard.
93-83, Nets, 3.5 to go. Anthony, count it. It's Martin called on goaltending. The crowd enjoyed it, but it goes on the board as a deuce.
Yeah, Kenyon waited till Carmelo got up in the air to decide to go after this one, and yeah, that ball's got nowhere else to go but down. That's a good call. That's goaltending.
The Nets will take their time.
He couldn't ask for a better look from Boykins. That's his range. Came away empty.
Kidd defended by Leonard.
The philosophy also there, the fact that they had a 2-for-1 situation.
Activity. Martin and Nene getting tied up. And Martin already had a technical called on him earlier. Wisely walks away. Foul has has been called on Nene.
Nene gets called for the hold right here as he gets locked up, grabbing Kenyon Martin. An easy call, and then Martin just trying to get away from Nene. And there's no question there was a hold there. I'm not sure there was going to be some extracurricular there or not. Didn't look like Nene wanted any part of it. Martin just trying to free himself.
You could see Martin bite his lip as he walked away, trying to restrain himself as Martin does go to the line. Denver over the limit, and some big free throws right now for Kenyon Martin. First one, gets the roll.
Good touch, nice rotation there using the front iron.
Martin's first points of the quarter. He's got 27 overall. And this one can bring it to a 2-possession game. Martin's second attempt, drains it.
Calmly.
98-94.
They'll open the floor up for Boykins, try to let him create.
High screen, Camby. Kidd sticks with Boykins. Nets up by 4. Move made by Leonard. Spin. Anthony fires a 3. No good. Camby the tip in. That won't go. The Denver Nuggets 2-8 in their last 10 games, trying to hold on for the 8th spot in the Western Conference. But it looks like this one will go the Nets' way after that possession.
Well, you saw Anthony under duress from Martin.
Leonard hits the 3 at the buzzer, and it doesn't matter. The Nets win. New Jersey holds off the Denver Nuggets, and they get the W over Denver. In the final, Nets 98, Nuggets 9 Friday, Nets and the Chicago Bulls. Stay tuned. On the Yes Network, log on to Yes.